Good evening. Got a few cards right here. Spirit's got a message that it would like to convey. I guess we're starting off with Spirit saying no mercy. No mercy against what? Illuminating wisdom. Oh. And what goes up must come down. Something about an unreliable female that didn't know you were a force to be reckoned with. And Spirit said, here, piggy, piggy. Spirit says they're living in avoidance, and what goes around will always come back around. Something about a gossip queen and softening your energy, being an energy vampire that's blowing up in their face. Spirit says they are full of shit. They didn't like being called out, and that's what's got them in this reaction. A mother figure. Spirit saying let it burn, that you're restoring cosmic balance and karmic balance. Something about some blackmail in the reverse. They thought you were stupid. They didn't realize you was just a big old nerd. Guess you can't be pretty and be a nerd. Spirit says this is a time for healing, and that they manifested it for themselves when they wished ill upon others. Oof. They were trying to use your past against you, I guess, because people aren't supposed to change. They didn't want to break the cycles that you was breaking. They wanted to continue to live in corruption and bullshit forever. They wanted you to stay unaware. They're starting to figure it out now, Spirit saying. Front and center, Spirit says they were purposely creating problems for you, but you were a Cinderella story. They couldn't settle their differences. You're living rent free in their head, and instead of the other way around, because you know the difference. I guess they don't. Sure. Spirit said they didn't think that God would ever step in. I guess they didn't believe in the divine, and that the first shall be last and the last shall be first, and they didn't want that to happen. They're no longer trying to force things. They were trying to tell people you were just trying to cause hysteria in order to get people to come together against you. They used a female bestie and an elder figure in the community. Something about some deceptive contracts that's blowing up in their face, and they wanted you to be harder on yourself than you are. I guess you realized you clocked there and you said, let them do them, and that just made them all go. They were using a priest of God to go against an anointed of God. Let's all take a moment, let the irony sink in, because God only likes to work in irony. They were going after you for every step that you took, Spirit said. Spiritual warfare, now in the reverse. A mother or aunt, a female cousin, that's in the reverse, just mother twice. So two mother figures, or an aunt or a cousin, you know. Had to be family, huh? Spirit says they thought they got away with it. Spirit says keep looking up, because they refused to. They didn't want you to have any sort of financial freedom. So you get your financial freedom, and Spirit said, woo! Something about causing some delays by telling everybody you were mentally unstable, an angry man that's in the reverse that created a domino effect that he didn't realize he was going to set into events. Something about some false starts and trying to close all your doors on you and not realizing God was going to open that much better of ones. They like to take their pain out on others, Spirit says. They're trying to attach entities, could be STDs, could be all kind of shit. Don't buy into people's bullshit. And Spirit says they're now having to deal with the consequences of their actions. Alright, here we go for the third time in a row. Spirit says your mama. Against your 8th house, which is transformation, your inheritances, life's mysteries. They didn't expect this. They didn't expect for you to just be good with whatever. They're trying to send you heavy tidings, basically. They want you to feel uneasy. Spirit says it's almost kind of humorous. Something about them being soul suckers, and it's blowing up in their face. And that everyone deserves to have a voice. Everyone deserves a fair shot. Period. Something about a private investigator. You're being vindicated. A male politician that's in the reverse that is aware that you're virtuous. They were under the influence, Spirit says, making inquiries about you while hiding behind fake smiles. They won't do on one-way ticket, basically, and Spirit said, They're still refusing to process their emotions. Still making the same bad choices. Something about the next holiday in the reverse, and something that was said. Spirit saying it's time to recalibrate, or they need to recalibrate. They were always trying to shortchange you, Spirit says, and that's in the reverse. They got caught up, and something about spring in the reverse. Spirit wants you to know that this is all going to have a happy ending. Just hang in there. Keep doing you, boo, and keep your heart open. You got this.